Hello guys, here we are for the Pennzoil Cup Series, Race 5 at Road America, the first road course track on the schedule. It's going to be an exciting one to see how these drivers can do when they return to the road course. And we're going to get our starting lineup here pretty quick, but just like last week, rains were in the area, and we're going to have to see if we can make it through the race without one. Let's get your starting lineup. Michael Jones is on the pole. Webster Zygarde will start on the outside in the single car team. Row 2, Brian Boone, you see Bad Dad Racing doing very good, and Jack Newman on his outside. Row 3, Jay Darrell, the last winner at a road course, and Aaron Lukes on the outside. Row 4 has Addison Steinbach been pretty consistent lately, and Kyle Collins coming off of rolling his car at Martinsville. Row 5, Derek Petrie in the big Motorsports Chevy, and Blaine Keys in the 60. Row 6, Jay Barker looking for a step up after just terrible runs so far, and Daniel Voiles after getting his first good run after a good Bud shootout. Row 8 has Michael Kraft and Nicholas Samudia. Row 7, I mean. Row 8 here is Ryan Kendall with a very good starting spot, and Nick Purcell's last week's winner from Martinsville. Row 9, Cody Russell, not a good starting spot for him, and Ryan Dunn, your points leader, starts in 18th. Row 10, we find Brian Lenning and Daytona winner Zach Komansky still doing a good job in that Reloaded Racing Toyota. Row 11, the only Bad Dad Racing car outside the top 20, Kyle Singer and Arsha Sane in the 24. Row 12 has AJ Davidson and Daniel Maxwell, the rookie, doing very good in qualifying so far this year. Row 13, Jake Booker, last year's champion, not impressing anyone though. Joseph Strigley, the Rookie of the Year points leader. Row 14, Zach Carr is in this new single car team, and Brock McMahon in his fourth race, I believe. Row 15, Rick Witt, still a depressing season for him, and Ferdinand Gabon is outside. Row 16, Aaron Allen is just trying to finish a race, and Kevin Ulrichson is outside. Row 17, Gary Weaver and Jesse Dalton taking over the departing Eric Willis. Row 18, Hergiel Arvin Alonso and Jose Vaquez in the 51 second in the Rookie of their points. Row 19 is teammate Callum Wood and Cesar Chavez, qualifying the most races so far for Philippines Racing Development. Row 20, Giovanni Barraza and Ethan McDowell, the Estonian driver. Row 21, your final row, has Ediston Padkar and Cooper Cyron. Here are the people that did not make the race. You see Matthew Brown had a good streak going. Chloe Baker as well, pretty big surprise there. Nikita Riskoff also on that list, the Red Viper Racing driver. Anyways, here we go, getting ready to get the green flag is in the air. Here we go, 14 laps at the road course as they're going to travel down the long front straightaway. Michael Jones is going to get a really good jump in the Lindsey Marine Dodge, almost a full car length already between him and Webster Zygarde. No, even more. Just Webster Zygarde got a terrible restart, and Michael Jones pulling away already. But this is our first road course, but there's been a new rule change on courses more than 2 miles long. More than 2.5 miles long, so not super speedways. If they're more than 2.5 miles long, there will be no cautions, and you're gonna have to try to recover if you have a mistake early on. So the 47 car out front, probably the best place you want to be right now. You see Brian Boone falling in second, and oh, we got some spinners in the back already. And that has not been a popular spot for not having wrecks, as we have seen it. Oh man, that's the first-time starter Jesse Dalton, as well as Kevin Ulrich, Jose Vaquez, Gary Weaver. It looks like it was just a stack-up, and Jesse has a ton of front-end damage. Not how he wanted his first race to start, but everyone's gonna get going again. No major. Oh, what is this? Jake Booker in the 5 car with problems. And Ediston Padkar is just going to push him out of the way, kind of holding him up. But this is huge. The 5 after getting a 6th at Martinsville, his first good run in forever. And last year's champion now suffering early on at the road course. This is not good. The Lady Chevy's just going to have to coast it around and try to make it back to pit road. But I don't think he's going to make it. More problems on the track. Ferdinand Gabot for Philippines Racing Development is going to get turned off the track by AJ Davidson, and Rick Witt almost goes with him. He'll manage to keep it on the track, but Ferdinand Gabot is going to get stuck in the sand trap and get towed back to pit road. And this is exactly what I'm saying. No cautions. You do not want to have something like that happen early on. Brian Boone in the 70 car now riding in second. That shock top Dodge Currently, this is one of his best runs. However, he's still remaining in the top 13 in points, which is pretty cool, as the 70 car did make the chase, and I believe made it to the final 7 before he got dropped out. So Brian Boone is a force to be reckoned with. In fact, Michael Jones, even being with a win, Brian Boone still has not gotten one. He's kind of the Ryan Newman of this series, if you watch NASCAR. But as we look back, Jack Newman you see running 4th, Jay Durrell 5th, and Kyle Collins 6th, and Aaron Lukes running a 7th place right now, as he got 2nd place, the highest finishing spot he's had this year, in one of the Gatorade duels, which was pretty cool. Excuse me, maybe duels. And an even bigger surprise, Ryan Dunn starting 18th. He's moved up to 16th at the moment, but he's going to need to get a little bit higher than that if he wants to keep his point lead, because Webster Zygarde, he's currently his competitor running 2nd in points, is running right up there in the top 3. So Ryan Dunn, he needs to get up there so he can try to challenge. Most likely, oh, you see him getting by Zach Komoski. That was a really good move. But currently, he needs to go challenge his rival up there, because if he doesn't, right now, as it stands, Webster Zygarde will pull away with the lead. And as it stands right now, Justice Strigley will only be improving his point lead even more, as he is in front of his rival, or if you want to call him teammate, Jose Vequez in the 51 car. Double T Motorsports has been the hot topic. The 5 car is still struggling to make it back to pit road, and I don't know why he's sitting in the middle of the track. But I don't know what he's doing in the middle of the track there. He's just sitting there, and yeah, that's him. And oh no, it's that Aaron Allen's gonna hit him. Aaron Allen, we just said before the race, if he could just finish a race, that would be great. But already we're seeing a major catastrophe. You see Aaron Allen just riding right behind another car. I couldn't see who it was, and just unaware of it, almost rolls the car over. I believe that was Edistem, already having a bad day from the 5 car, gonna get taken out in another wreck. And that was behind Jose Vequez, and you see just nowhere to go. The drivers are sitting on the left side of the car, so they really could not see, and obviously spotters would not do anything for him in that tree-covered alley. But that was a vicious wreck. We do hope both of those cars are okay. And, well, we're back up front after that little dilemma, only on lap 3, as Michael Jones leads the field. However, he has some competition from the 70 car, although he kind of dives in a little too hard. Brian Boone will now have to back off and try to make another run at it. You see Webster Zygarde lying right in there in the 3rd position. That P&G Chevy looking very strong currently up to this point in the running of the season. You're gonna have to see if he can maybe pull off a championship win. But then again, Ryan Dunn couldn't pull it off even though he was leading most of the time. Let's quickly jump back in the back here, as you see our 81 car Daytona winner, but also Jay Barker kind of in the letdown of the Nash Racing team, not even inside the top 28. Definitely wanting things to change here at Road America. Gonna try to get it done here. Back to Zach Komoski. He had a very, very good run at Daytona, very quick, and managed to end up with a win. It's kind of surprised. It was kind of an upset winner despite not being a rookie. But definitely this team came out of nowhere, exceeding expectations. Another team that came out of nowhere, Arsh Hossain, and he didn't even qualify for, I believe he only qualified for half the races last year. He was running for Philippines Racing Development, then went to Mallee Motorsports halfway through us after he got dropped. But now look where he is. He's currently fighting inside the top 5 in the championship battle right now. That 24 has come alive in JT Motorsports, being a team that the owner is actually an old driver. Jacob Tube, if you remember from last season, owns the team. Currently teammate with Aaron Lukes as well. So those two guys working very hard to get a good run going. Oh, there's cars off the track! We were just focusing in on Michael Kraft and Derek Petrie because they were running a good race for Big Motorsports, but Derek Petrie and a white car just went off track. That was Nick Purcell's last week's winner at Martinsville, and they're just going to hammer inside the wall, the tire wall at the bottom of the sand trap, and that was an incredible lick. It looked like Derek just came down on Nick. Battle for second ensues though, as Webster Zygarde going to make it underneath the 70 car. He's going to try to go for second. And all the way in the back of the field, Ryan Dunn has got to be hating where he's qualified, as he's making progress but not quick enough. Webster Zygarde, I don't believe will get this spot, as Brian Boone will have the advantage in these 2 turns. You see Michael Jones still pulling away from the field. It looks like Webster Zygarde's going to keep it. Wow, very good move for the 12 cars. They'll be able to power behind the outside. Running inside the top 10 again, Daniel Voiles. This is exactly the strength he needs. If he can get another top 10 here, that will be 2 decent, or at least very good runs up to where he's had so far. Daniel Voiles just trying to keep it up so far in that Dodge, although Rick Witt's wanting to stay the same, not happening. See Kyle Collins, a good comeback from last week where he got in a major accident under caution. And Blaine Keys, also running very good in the Hoffman Motorsports camp. Teammate of Gary Weaver, who is not having a good race today, but that 60 car running very strong up here in the Febreze Ford. And currently we're going to undergo pit stops here, as Michael Jones is going to be the first one to take him down pit road with Brian Boone in second. But look who stays out, Webster Zygarde. This is some strategy right here. I mean, this isn't just like your normal Martinsville where if you stay out an extra lap, it's not the big deal. This is a very long track, and, you know, you're going to have to see if this really plays dividends, even if it is 1 lap. But Michael Jones is currently out front after the pit stops, but with a very handy pit stop out of Daniel Voiles, he is right on the back bumper of that other Dodge. The 99 car is going for the lead right now, trying to get his 2nd win of the season, but his first points race of the season. Anyways, here's the drivers that did not pit the first time. We're going to see some strategy out of the 43 and the 83 camps. 2 tires out of Jay Durrell and Kyle Collins. This is going to be interesting to see how this works out. Obviously, track position is shown to be key. We're going to have to see if that ends up being the main decide on who wins the race. Anyways, Jay Durrell currently in the lead with Kyle Collins running in second. So, Michael Jones and Webster Zygarde you see falling back to 3rd and 4th. Daniel Voiles with his very quick pit stop is going to run in 5th. And everyone else on back pretty much stayed the same. Here's Jesse Dalton in the Mallee Motorsports Ford. This driver is actually the replacement for Eric Willis after a team disagreement. Jesse Dalton was put in and Eric Willis was kicked out. So this is our first driver change of the season and our first contract broken as well. But we're going to have to see if this really affects the team or if Jesse Dalton could really get a head start on his career. Rick Witt currently still not doing good at all for a 3rd place in the championship points last year driver, and really you'd expect a lot more out of this Hampton Dodge, as he was very good last year but just has not shown anything this year. Not even the win that Daniel Voiles put at the Bud Shootout, even though it was a fuel mileage race, he still has a win, and Rick Witt still nothing. But I don't know, maybe Rick Witt will pick it up later in the season. We're just going to have to see. It only is race 5. But a guy who's still picking it up, Ryan Dunn, around 15th position right now. Slowly and surely, he's kind of moving his way up, but still nothing much. Ryan Dunn is now going to probably lose the lead, the points lead, to Webster Zygarde after this. So that Adobe Chevy, not a good race for him in the points terms of things right now. Jay Durrell, anyways, with 2 to go, is currently riding around in front. That Fitzwater Australia Dodge is still looking not very fast here up in the front, even with those 2 tires. So maybe this pit strategy just might work out. We're gonna have to see though, as much can happen in 2 laps. I mean, this is 8 miles, I believe, if you run 2 laps. So Jay Durrell currently the leader of the race, and I believe that's still Kyle Collins running second. So even Kyle has been able to hang on. That was just an amazing pit strategy right there. And the pit call might work out here as we make it to the final lap. So all bets are off. Who's going to make it home first? Jay Durrell currently still in the lead. Remember, the last race he actually won was at Daytona, the last race of the last year. But if you remember back to the last road course race we ran at, Watkins Glen, 2 races before that, Jay Durrell also won. So Jay Durrell is really on a hot streak if you think about it. I believe it's actually now 8 races if he ends up winning this one that he'll win in a row. But if we're going to actually focus our attention to the back, whoa, Brian Boone's going to run into the back of the 12 car. He's really trying to get to the front now, trying to get around the 12 car so he can make it Bad Dad Racing 3rd and 4th right now. But Webster Zygo looks like he will keep it. That 12 car has just been perfect through those corners. I mean, we saw it earlier today. I believe he actually got around Brian Boone in the same strategy. So those two have been fighting back and forth all race long. However, it's been Michael Jones to just kind of stay out in front of everyone until the pit strategy fell. Here's 2 other guys in the back, Aaron Lukes, Jack Newman in the Brickman and Nitro Chevys. These cars are doing very well. Like we said, Jacob 2 Motorsports, or JT Motorsports, having cars that are doing very good. 38 is one of them, and he's doing a very strong top 10 run for him. And we're looking at Kyle Collins in the Linksys Toyota. Very good run after having a disappointing run at Martinsville. Just exactly what that Toyota team needs. Old Spice Motorsports hasn't been the best, even though Nick Purcell's did get a win. But they're currently still they have some flaws to iron out. But it's good to see the 83 up here running well and doing very good, as even if it is a fuel mileage race, the 83 car had a good run today. Anyways, over the hill, Jay Durrell is looking at the checkered flag in the air, and Jay Durrell will get his 3rd win in a short period of time. Actually, his 3rd win before anyone else will get 2 if we look back from Watkins Glen. So good job for the 43 car of Jay Durrell, as he'll do his burnouts, and very experienced because you cannot even see him through that smoke. Congratulations, Jay Durrell, as he'll only be his 1st win of the season despite having 3 wins in the past 9 races or so. See Kyle Collins, pretty much everyone on back stayed the same. Looking down, you see Michael Kraft, Addison Steinbach, 9th and 10th. Notice the 9 car not even on the board, while Webster Zygarde comes home 4th. Definitely the 12 car gonna be in the lead after this one. Cody Russell, after starting 17th, will make it back to 13th. And Jay Barker, I believe it was 22nd he started, he's up to 12th. Good job for the 2 car. Joseph Strigley will definitely keep his Rookie of the Year points lead with that 15th run. Ryan Kendall, just a solid day for the Tanker Motorsports driver. You see Ryan Dunn did end up falling to 18th place, so no gains or losses on that run, but the 9 car definitely will lose the points lead after this. Double T Motorsports continuing to impress even if Chloe Baker didn't show up, but the 3 cars who were there finished inside the top 24, with Jose Bequez being the lowest. After starting around the back of the field too, so that's actually a huge gain for that team. Looking in the back, we're going to look right to the bottom. Jake Booker, Edison Pekar, Hergio Arvin Alonso, Aaron Lukes, Derek Peter, and Nick Purcell is all caught up in wrecks. Jesse Dalton with his hood off from the very first corner, and Ferdinand Gabot, who got spun off into the sand trap. And, well, it's just been a tough race for a couple of these guys. Jake Booker wanted to have a better run, but what are you going to do? Here's your point standings. It is true. Webster Zygarde is going to go to the lead, but surprising, 9th place for Michael Kraft will move him up to 2nd. So Big Motorsports has a driver inside the top 2 for the first time, and Jack Newman and Ryan Dunn are now going to be sitting 3rd and 4th, where just a couple weeks ago they were 1st and 2nd. Jay Durrell with the win will hop up to 6th. Zach Kamonski still remaining in 5th. Still an impressive job for him. And down through the field you saw, here's the cut line. Sam Rogers, even with his win, he's still already on the outside, with Jose Bequez also on the outside as well. That cut line, you see everyone below it, those guys are not in as it stands. It may be race 5, but you still got to continue to look at that. And even if you are Giovanni Barraza and Gary Weaver, you still got to be a little bit concerned. That is not a comfortable lead. Only 4 points from Gary Weaver to Sam Rogers. Here's your Rookie of the Year point standings. Joseph Strigley only improves on it with 41 points over Jose Bequez, almost coming up to a full race lead over the 51 car. So, looking down, Red Viper Racing Dodges have not been impressive at all. 8th and 11th. Keita Riskoff, that's his 2nd DNF in a row. And of course, the Old Spice Motorsports car of Edison Pekar hasn't been too impressive either. And Monty Brown also having a good run despite missing this race. The Pennzoil Cup Series, we'll see you next time at Michigan. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.